from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Friday, June 12th, 2015. I'm Ann Gownley. It's being called an execution-style murder, and it happened on the streets of Hazleton late last night. WYLN was on scene this morning with Chief of Police Frank D'Andrea, and tonight we have the details. Police in Hazleton, along with several other agencies, are investigating a murder that took place in the area of 4th and Alter Streets around 10:30 Thursday night. Police say a man was shot and killed during an argument. According to Chief D'Andrea, the man who was killed was shot in the head, execution style.
The specifics of this crime make it so much more heinous because it is an execution. There's an argument, a fight, gunshots are fired, and then people are running away injured. If you ran in the other direction, it's one thing, but to continue to chase somebody down and then shoot them in the head, killing them, leaving them laying in the street, makes this an execution. All the more reason why I implore the public to come forward with any type of information that can assist us, because this is a heinous crime and that is a heinous criminal, and we need to take this executioner off of our streets.
The victim, who has not been identified, was taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy was scheduled for 12 noon on Friday at Wilkes-Barre General Hospital. The man was identified early this morning thanks to the FBI, who used his fingerprints.
The Hazleton Police Department, our Detectives Division, the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office, the Luzerne County Detectives, and the Pennsylvania State Police through their Forensic Services Unit are in the early stages of an investigation. As always with these type of incidents, there is no doubt there are witnesses and people who know what went on. And again, I reach out to the public and ask, beg and implore anyone with any information, please contact the Hazleton Police Department.
Chief D'Andrea says this homicide was certainly not a random act of violence, but the public does need to be aware of how serious this incident was.
Would I say the public has to be worried that there is someone running around shooting people at random? Absolutely not. But the public should be concerned that there is someone who's committed a murder in the city of Hazleton that is yet to be brought to justice.
Surveillance video acquired by police show the argument in the 500 block of Alter Street and also shows flashes of light indicating gunshots.
You can see one gunshot clearly here. And again, remember, it's 10:30, quarter to 11 in the evening. It's dark. It's infrared lenses, which are black and white lenses, and it's raining. So it is not the best surveillance pictures. It is good surveillance footage from a brand new surveillance system, 2 separate cameras showing the angle, but it's obvious that there is some kind of argument that starts, that in the cameras starts over in this area. It's the first place we see it. We do know that there is definitely blood moving up 4th Street, that there was definitely at least one gunshot that was captured on camera, and that the man was found dead almost up at Emerald Court on 4th Street. Tying all of those pieces together is why the detectives get paid to come out at, midnight and in the pouring rain.
With the heavy rain last night, D'Andrea says the police department located as much evidence as they could, including the blood trails. The Hazleton Fire Department was also on scene last night using their trucks to light up the crime scene. WYLN spoke with 2 residents at the scene this morning who heard the gunshots last night.
Well, we were sitting in my kitchen and it sounded like a pop, 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 like firecrackers going off. And then we heard all the sirens and we came out. And yeah, they said there was a shooting right out front here.
It was around 10:15, 10:30-ish. I was laying down, face down in the bed, about to go to sleep actually, and heard 5 bullet shots go off. And in the meantime, I heard footsteps running up the road. The guy was screaming, no, 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 no. And then I tried looking out the blinds, nothing. So me and my buddy's mom came running out. Next thing you know, there's a guy face down in the middle of the street with a pile of blood coming out of his face.
Police are still investigating the case. Anyone with information is asked to call the Hazleton City Police Department at 570-459-4940 or dial 911. The Hazleton Area School District is facing an almost $10 million budget hole. Last night, members of the School Board Budget Committee met to discuss their options. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich was there and has the story.
A Hazleton Area School District budget meeting was held last night. Members of the board reviewed 5 options that encompass staffing, class size, and property taxes in Luzerne, Schuylkill, and Carbon counties. We spoke with business manager Tony Riva.
First option, Schuylkill would stay the same. Luzerne and Carbon counties would both get a decrease. Second option, Luzerne County would stay the same. Schuylkill would go up slightly, and Carbon would come down slightly. Option 3 would be Carbon staying the same, Schuylkill and Luzerne both going up. Option 4, we talk about the index. Each year we're allowed to increase our taxes to the index. Option 4 would actually take Schuylkill County to the index. All 3 counties would get increases, but Luzerne and Carbon would not hit the index. Schuylkill would hit the index first. And then finally, the 5th option is using the exceptions that we applied for back in February and were granted. That would actually take all 3 counties past the index and use those exceptions.
A property tax calculator was created for the school district's website. There, homeowners can put in their assessed value, choose through the options, and find out their tax. According to Reba, staffing and class sizes are not expected to change dramatically.
This year, we put a new model in that we brought Maple Manor online. We interjected Maple Manor to try and reduce overcrowding in the city schools. So we were pulling from the Castle and from West Hazleton and Heights. So right now this year we are going by a 25 maximum class size number in grades kindergarten, 1st and 2nd, and then grades 3 through 8 we were looking at 28 as the maximum. For next year, and we've been talking about this with the board, grades K through 4 will not change, but grades 5 through 8 we're actually raising that 28 up to 30.
The school board committee meetings will be held next Tuesday, at which point the final options will be discussed during the finance portion. The board will make its final decision at the meeting on Thursday, June 25th. WYLN will be there and have further details. In Hazel Township, for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thanks, Julie. The Pennsylvania State House voted to waive fees on background checks for volunteers. Governor Tom Wolf announced that fees for child abuse clearances and criminal background checks required by the Child Protective Services law will be waived for all volunteers that want to work with children. Volunteers will be required to have background checks beginning on July 1st. Anyone that is seeking employment to work with children will also have the cost reduced from $10 to $8. This includes child care workers, foster parents, adoptive parents, and school employees. The changes to those fees will take effect on July 25th. Time now for our first look at our forecast. Another humid day after a heavy rainstorm last night. Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is in the Weather Center with the details. Joe, what kind of weather can we expect for our weekend?
Well, overall, the weekend not shaping up to be too bad across our area. If you're traveling right now, here's a look at the travel cameras over the past 1 hour, animated right up through now. Things looking pretty good out there. Not the case, though, as you head out toward the west. There was a couple of showers and storms across parts of our area. Much of us did not see anything, but that's a whole different story. Out toward the west, you can see this leading edge of some showers and thunderstorms. The yellow boxes already indicating severe thunderstorm watches, which continue to be in effect. And that activity, it's making its way toward the east. So I think we're going to see some activity as we head into the evening hours. Temperature-wise, over the past 24 hours, we got 80s to 90 degrees, and it continues to be very hot across our area with temperatures remaining in the 80s to almost 90 degrees. What can we expect this weekend? I'll have the complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few. Ann?
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, we'll hear from 2 Banks Township supervisors about what they have to say about the mine fire that continues to burn in Carbon County. Plus, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik will be back with a full look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
You're watching WYLN News, Greater Hazleton's only local news broadcast, with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Kristen Bazinski, weather with Joe Garbacik, and sports with Eric DeBerardinis and Gabriella Justin.
Spring is here and summer is on the way. Stop by Smith Floral Company for all your garden needs. Vegetable plants, bedding plants, hanging baskets, perennials, herbs, and more. Ask about their beautiful cemetery logs and tributes. Smith Floral Company is under new ownership with the same friendly staff to help you. Delivery worldwide.
Express Care. Walk in and you walk into the region's most trusted health network.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
WYLN Sports broadcasting live June 14th at the Weatherly Hill Climb. WYLN Sports will take you up the hill, past the Devil's Hook, around the hairpin turn, and through the Dutchman. All the turn-by-turn coverage of the Weatherly Hill Climb live on WYLN TV 35.
Last night, Banks Township Supervisors Joe Clark and Charles Shallis joined Tiffany Cloud on the storm to talk about the mine fire that is burning in Banks Township. Here is just a small part of that show that you will see here on WYLN.
This, though, can't be a cheap endeavor. What kind of dollars are we looking at to do the surveying and to do the drilling and whatever's necessary?
The drilling came in at $1.2 million.
$2 million.
For 53 boreholes.
Okay.
And they can do 2 or 3 holes a day.
And that's just the drilling. That has nothing to do with when it gets to extinguishing. Right. I mean, do we even have a sense of what this could cost yet?
I have no idea.
Okay.
So the drilling is going to tell them the expanse of the fire, and then they will sit down. They being Abandoned Mine Office, DEP, and they will determine the best way to attack this. You talk about Centralia, and there was a very difficult fire in Shenandoah in 1968. But of course, we've progressed so much. So they will evaluate the expanse and then come up with a game plan of how to fight it.
What they did, I believe, because of the past mine fires and Centralia issue, they learned
their lesson.
They learned their lesson now that this is an important situation. They need to get on it right away and do the best they could to end it before it gets out of hand.
But still, I mean, best case scenario, do we think this entire process could take months? Could it take years? I mean, do we have any sense of what it could take once we get to the point where we've identified where we need to do, for lack of a better word, extinguishing?
I don't think so. I've heard by the end of the year. That's kind of, but I think we can do this by the end of, but it's not. They have to wait to see what's there.
Are the residents at any risk in terms of when you talk about these fumes, in terms of toxicity in the fumes at all, if it's going to take between now to the end of the year, knowing that they're smelling this, they're inhaling it?
We don't think so.
No, they even when we had our public meeting, they said that the smell is far worse than it's a smell only. It's like a little tiny bit, you get a real terrible smell.
Okay.
There's no air problem. They found nothing wrong with the air monitoring.
So the safety of people right now in terms of inhaling anything that's carcinogenic or toxin is okay?
Like I said, in the very near future, they're going to start monitoring 24/7.
Okay.
And that's, again, part of the federal government's involvement, part of the state's involvement.
And that's what the residents at the meeting asked for. They said they'd like that they're only monitoring during work hours. And they said, well, what's the sense in that? 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm gagging in my bedroom. So they said now they're going to go 24-hour-a-day monitoring because federal funds were needed for that. You couldn't do it with the state funds.
You can catch this episode of The Storm this Saturday at 5 p.m., Sunday at 11 a.m., Monday at 8:30 p.m., and Tuesday at 9:30. And you can also see the show on YouTube. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik is back with a full look at our forecast. Plus, we'll hear from Hazleton City Engineer about new plans at the Hazleton Municipal Airport. Stay tuned, that and much more coming up here on WYLN.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
Penn State is right here in the Hazleton area.
We're top ranked by corporate recruiters.
We have 4-year degrees, so you can finish here or at another Penn State campus.
There's new scholarship money available.
And there's no application fee when you visit here.
Penn State Hazleton.
Download your application fee waiver at psu.edu/visit Hazleton.
WYLN Weather is sponsored by Coordinated Health. Coordinated Health, we make you better together.
I grew up in Pittston. I know what it takes to live in a small town. I know a lot of these people and they know me.
And that's why I believe everyone should have access to high-quality, affordable health care. And why I'm pleased to tell you about a new choice, Coordinated Health. I want the very best for my family, friends, and neighbors, and I know Coordinated Health
will bring a new level of patient care to the Wyoming Valley.
A little bit breezy outside, clouds rolling in, but I'll tell you what, walking outside, you can just feel the humidity that is in the air. We've had a couple of showers and storms out there on radar. Most of us have not seen anything just yet, but there's a chance that's going to change as we head into this evening as a leading edge of some showers and storms just out toward the west. Here's a look at the graphic for the day, and not a whole lot going on, except we've been dealing with the heat, the humidity across northeastern Pennsylvania, and there has been a couple of storms that did develop. In fact, there was a couple of warnings out there earlier. Now, there are some more storms out there on radar, especially a pretty good line forming as you head out toward the western part of the state. For our immediate viewing area now, nothing showing up, but it is fairly quiet. From Berwick through Wilkes-Barre, Kingston, out through Williamsport and Lewisburg, it continues to remain dry. Lively high tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, 82 degrees, but those dew point numbers, when they're well up into the 60s, it feels very tropical-like, just juicy air mass, if you will, when you walk outside, and it's making it feel like it's almost 90 degrees. Our Coordinated Health Almanac page for the day, 88 and 65 the split in temperatures, 77 and 56 are the averages. 40 to record low of 1980, 531, 836, sunrise and sunset for tomorrow. 87 now, Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, 93 in Philadelphia, 89 in Williamsport, 86 in State College. And when you combine temperatures with the actual dew point value and the humidity readings, this is what it's actually feeling like across our area. It's feeling like it's 97 in Allentown, and it's feeling like it's 100 in Philadelphia. Mid to upper 80s to near 90 degrees in the Wyoming Valley area. Satellite and radar, you can see a couple of those storms that formed as they made their way toward the east. And it's fairly quiet even out in central PA, but look at this leading edge of some pretty good storms now forming as you head out toward the western part of the state. Yellows indicating severe thunderstorm watches, which currently are posted. And again, that activity is making its way toward the east. Maybe a shower or a storm as we head into tomorrow, and then Sunday looking pretty nice across our area. Here's a look at the extended forecast and what we can expect over the next several days. 77 for tomorrow, 75 for Sunday, and then some more showers and storms for Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then a shower storm here or there as we go into the middle part and ending part of next week. Well, we want to thank the lottery for giving us those wonderful lottery numbers. You'll be thanking yourself if you win them even more. There's the numbers for you. The pick 2, 71, the pick 3, 993, and the pick 4, 9803. We'll have more for you coming up after these commercial messages.
Celebrate Father's Day at Genetti's Sunday, June 21st. Enjoy premier catering and a scrumptious buffet, including your favorite breakfast selections, along with a carving station. Just $14.50 adults, children 3 to 12, $7.50. Under 3, free. Call 570-501-3700.
We're looking for a dealer that will take the time to get to know our needs.
And hook me up with something that has some all-wheel drive and some power. Bam!
And what will you be using the car for primarily?
Cycling, snowboarding, kayaking, you know.
Gardening, antiquing, and commuting to work.
I've got just the car.
Lease a 2015 Forester 2.5 ICVT for only $222 per month from Fairway Subaru in Hazel Township.
The right car.
The right price.
The right dealer. Fairway Subaru.
Hazleton City Council will have to make a decision next Tuesday on leasing land at the Hazleton Regional Airport for a Verizon wireless cellular tower. Today, WYLN spoke with the city engineer about this project and, if accepted by council, what it means for the area.
At Tuesday's Hazleton City Council meeting, Council will have to decide whether or not to allow Verizon Wireless to build a cell phone tower near the Hazleton Regional Airport. Hazleton City's consulting engineer Donna McInerney spoke with WYLN News about the proposed project.
The cell tower will be approximately 65 feet tall, and it will help improve the cell service of anybody using their cellular phone in the area of the airport. In addition, the city will be able to utilize the cell tower for any type of transmissions for fire, police, or emergency services. In addition, the cell tower also received preliminary approval from the Bureau of Aviation, and Verizon Wireless is required to submit the final paperwork to the Bureau of Aviation as well as Hazel Township for the final permits, and including the Federal Aviation Administration.
The council will also talk about the hangar project. The city did receive a grant a few months back from the Bureau of Aviation.
A few months back, the city of Hazleton received a grant from the Bureau of Aviation to acquire, construct, and rehabilitate hangars at the Hazleton Regional Airport. In addition, they received approval to apply for a Pennsylvania Infrastructure Bank loan that will be able to account for the 50% match required for the hangar project. The hangar project benefits the city, as the city will be able to receive revenue from the hangars to be able to maintain and operate and improve the airport. There are currently 16 hangars at the airport now, and the grant does allow for the city to build additional hangars here at the airport.
According to Yanuzzi, these projects will help the city.
The runway safety project is about $1.2 to $1.4 million, which is 95% grant. And the hangar project is approximately $600,000 project with 50% grant. And the hangar grant would be the first time that the city of Hazleton has ever received a grant of that type.
Again, these three projects will be voted on at Tuesday's council meeting, which is slated to start at 6 p.m. In Hazleton, for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
Thanks, Gary. Coming up next, Eric DeBerardinis is in with sports here on WYLN. Stay tuned.
For all your projects, large and small, Bedrock Gardens has it all. They are fully stocked and ready to fill your order. Rubber mulch and rubber curbing to match. Lots of color choices to pick from. Wall stone, natural stone, full pallets ready to go. Their bins are full with rich colored quality mulch that will look wonderful all season long. Finish off your fabulous outdoor space with their quality patio furniture and easy to assemble fire pits. Everything you need for your summer projects. Delivery available, or just stop by and they will load you up. Bedrock Gardens, locally owned and operated. Call today.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
For Holy Redeemer softball, the regular season was a breeze. District playoffs, more of a whirlwind, and the state playoffs just about as nerve-wracking as you can get. Today, the red and gold going for state gold. Lady Royals versus Deer Lakes in the PIAA AA Championship, trailing 5-2. Entering the fourth, the Bats go wild. Olivia Menig with a warning track shot driving in Kaya Swanek, and they put up 5 in the frame. 1 out away from a title, freshman Morgan Bienkowski delivers. Menig fumbles, but touches second for the force out, and Holy Redeemer softball champions as the best AA team in Pennsylvania, 10-5.
Amazing. I mean, tears. It's so emotional. It's something that every athlete dreams for, and I'm so happy. I really am.
Small ball is this game. I'm originally from Schuylkill County. And when you play down there, I mean, you guys know, you see the games down there. That's what the game is all about down there. And when you translate it to up here, I mean, these kids, at first you tell them to bunt, and they look at you with crossed eyes, and then they realize the part of the game that it is and how important it is.
We'll have much more coverage of the Lady Royals victory tonight on Late Edition. The 55th annual Weatherly Hill Climb is this weekend. WILN's Gabriella Justin has the details.
It's that time of the year again. The Weatherly Hill Climb has returned, and WILN is already set up to give you the best coverage on Sunday. Today we spoke with a gentleman named Nelson Case. Case started volunteering and racing in the 1980s. Then, in the early 2000s, he retired from racing, but chose to stick with volunteering for the events.
Basically, it's just timing the cars from the start line to the finish line. We have a wireless setup that we have antennas that we have set up that the Borough of Weatherly actually puts up for us each year, which is nice of them because then we don't have to do it. And then at the end of the weekend, we tear down, but we have a lot of fun doing it.
Case is a member of the Pennsylvania Hill Climb Association. He is in charge of timing and scoring for multiple hill climb events. Nelson told WILN how the timing works.
When the car crosses the photo cell at the start line, it starts the timer. When it crosses the photo cell at the finish line, it stops the timer, and that gives them the time for the course.
John Pittman came all the way from Carlisle for this weekend's hill climb event. Pittman is a participant in this weekend's race, but he is also in charge of the safety inspection, which requires him to be there before other racers.
We have to make sure the cars have a proper roll bar in them, seat belts that aren't outdated, proper driving gear, the suit, shoes, gloves, helmet, reasonable tires on the car, make sure there's no play in the steering. Check the hydraulics, make sure there's brake fluid, things like that.
The Weatherly Hill Climb's timed runs will begin at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And once again, WILN will be airing the event live on Sunday, beginning at 11 a.m. For WILN Sports, I'm Gabriella Justin.
Wyoming Valley West Baseball also competing in the state title game tonight. We'll have highlights on Monday. Stay tuned. Joe Garbacik is in with a final look at the forecast.
Family owned and operated, the experienced professionals at Lehigh Tire have served the residents of the greater Hazleton area for over 55 years. From our full line of passenger, light truck, and commercial tires to our automotive services including tune-ups, inspections, oil changes, and alignments.
Every time I've ever done business here, they've been very polite, straightforward, and the job gets done quickly and right.
Find the right tire for the right price today at Lehigh Tire.
Well, it is quiet across the northeast, not that way as you head out toward the west. These yellows already indicating severe thunderstorm watches, which continue to remain in effect. A pretty good line now out toward the west. That is heading toward the east. The Live 35 Skycast Doppler statewide. Again, we're fairly quiet across the northeast. Don't have to worry about any problems just yet, but notice as you go out toward the west, these are some pretty good storms, some showers and thunderstorms. And again, they're all making their way toward the east. And don't be surprised as we head into this evening if we don't encounter a couple of those here and there. But then for the weekend, for the most part, things shaping up to be pretty nice. Temperature-wise, tell you what, it's feeling more summer-like. You can't get better weather, especially temperature-wise this time of year, with temperatures in the 80s and even in the lower 90s right now in Philadelphia. Here's a look at the extended forecast and what we can expect over the next several days. Maybe a shower or storm as we head into tomorrow. And then going into our Sunday, it does look pretty nice. Shouldn't have to worry about any rain. Should be in the 70s. And then going in early next week, some more showers and storms.
All right. Well, we saw some more of the Weatherly Hill Climb. Hopefully that rain stays away because it is a great event. And I know a lot of people come out to see it. So you're definitely not going to want to miss that. And of course, it's live right here in WYLN Sunday at 11. Lots to do, lots to see. If you have the chance and you've never seen it before, it's definitely something that you're going to want to see in person. And Eric, it's your first time seeing it.
My first time, so
have fun.
I'm pumped.
Have fun. That's all I could say. Have a good weekend, everyone.